Then it will be nicely recorded. Recording will be good. Because this is not able to record, because the screen recording will not be good. The Zoom it will be good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Five sins of the house. Yeah. Five sins of the house. Five kinds of sins in the house. Yeah, five kinds of sins. Yeah. Oh, acha. Okay. Five kinds of sins because of the having the chula stove. So the sin will happen. Some living entities will die. Brooming is second thing, and third one is because of the water pot. Next, no, not me, but with that for the husk, removing her, vocally, or grinding. These are the five. Because of these five activities, sin will happen. To yeah. Stove. Water pot. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Wash it. Mm. Shall we start? Huh? So these are the Kandini, Peshini, Chulli, Udakambi, Cha Marjini, Panchasunascha Smrityukta, Panchasunaha Grahastasya Tabhi Swargam na Vindati. Yeah, it's Vishnu. This is in the Bhagavad Gita. This is Yagnasishtasina Santo Mukshante Sarva Kilbishaihi Bunjante Te To Agam Papam. In the commentary, it is given. So there is a Panchasuna. It means 5 ways. In the case of Grihastha, sin will happen. Yeah. Kandini, Peshini, Chulli, and Chula. Peshini means peesne wala. And Udakambi means water pot. Marjini means the broomstick. And Kandini means this. Vocally. Yeah. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So, to come out from this sin, they has to perform at least the 5 yajnas. Pitru yajna, Bhuta yajna, Brahma yajna. Like that. Yeah. Actually, other three ashramas are not meant for cooking. They are meant for begging. Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi, they go on begging. They don't have.
There was no base at that time.
Yeah.
Base preaching, college preaching. You can keep it on document, or you can keep it on browse. Browse it will not take. Zoom, classify.
So, Hare Krishna, we'll begin our class. We'll be discussing 16th sloka. I will be reciting once again. Gruhat pravrajito tiraha punyati. Okay. Punyatirtha jalaplutaha sucho vivikta asino vidivat kalpita asane. Sukadeva Goswami is explaining about Astanga Yoga from this sloka onwards, 16th sloka onwards. And in these coming slokas, we'll be seeing all the 8 angas, 8 limbs of the Astanga Yoga. First one is the yama. Here yama is gruhat pravrajitaha, dhiraha. That means the one who is having the self control, that person has to leave the house. In the Astanga Yoga process, what is the first step? They should yama. That means they should karma sannyasa. Before coming into the Astanga Yoga, you has to practice. Yeah, that means nishkama karma yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing. So, what is the system? One has to do first nishkama karma yoga. By that, what will happen? Heart will be purified. So, when you do the work and if you are not expecting anything from that, and you are leaving the result of that work to the Lord with the detachment, and also maintaining the equilibrium state. That means sama sukheshu dukkeshu. That means jayapajayo. Even you are getting the sometimes victory and sometimes losing. In all the situations, if you try to maintain equipoised state, that will bring the one into the mode of goodness. That is nothing but through the goodness, heart is purified. That will happen in the Nishkam Karma Yoga. So once he sufficiently purified his heart, that means he lost the attachment for the results of the karma. He became perfect in that. Then he can leave the karma. That means the role of karma is over now. Because in this whole world, everything is, even the karma kanda is also meant for the purification only. Karma kanda is also. Because in the karma kanda, only sastra is just for the small boy. In case of small boy, he is deceased and his father wants to give medicine. For that, what he does, he'll be putting the medicine in some laddu and in the sweet, and he'll be giving that sweet. What is the intention of that father? Feeding the laddu or the feeding the medicine? Feeding medicine is the intention. Similarly, Vedas also is giving that means karma kanda is like a laddu. But actually, what is the intention behind that? Why Vedas are prescribing karma kanda? So, because one should be, by seeing the results of the karma, they are attracted to the karma, but they will be inspired to do the karma. Ultimately, Veda is saying in the end of that karma kanda, you should offer everything to the Lord so that you will be sinless. So that means even the karma kanda purpose is also uplifting the jivatma. So this is the intention. So that's why one has to do karma strictly as per the Shastra, and leave the results to the Lord. If he doesn't offer the results to the Lord, and if he enjoy, then what will happen? Attachment will increase. Then heart will be contaminated. Then he'll be going down. He'll be going down further. That means he'll be becoming the animal life he'll be getting. So that's why what he has to do, he has to offer that purification will happen. What kind of purification? Not the purification like bhakti. When you do bhakti process, that purification is different. But when you do nishkama karma yoga, that purification is different. Is very light actually. When you do the nishkama karma yoga, you'll be coming into the mode of goodness, so that you are realizing that I am not body, I am the soul. This will be the happening. And also there is no attachment for the results. That is the end result of the nishkama karma yoga. So one who is successful in the nishkama karma yoga, then what he has to do? He should leave the karma. That means he should leave all the so-called fruity work. That means staying in the family, serving the members, this, that. All he should leave, and he should fully focusing on doing yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. This is the one route. And after purification of the heart, there is one more route. So in the fourth chapter, and you'll be seeing fourth chapter, Jnana Yoga. That means after the Nishkama Karma Yoga, one can enter into the Jnana Yoga, or otherwise one can enter into the Astanga Yoga. So here we are seeing the Astanga Yoga. So what he has to do? Grihat pravrajitaha. Leave the house. That means leaving the karma. All the fruity work is left over. Then that is a yama. He has to do this. Leaving the house means leaving the wife. That means following the brahmacharya. So that is a yama. He should strictly follow that. That comes under the yama. What is the next step? Punya tirtha jalaplutaha. He has to bathe in sacred so rivers. This is what niyama. This is niyama. And sucho vivekta asino vidivat kalpita asane. So asana should be prepared as per the sastra. In the Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing that asana should not be too low or too high. And also, first we should put the kusha grass, then after that the deer skin, then after that the cloth, then after that he should sit on that. Huh? Yeah, then after that, so first of all, he should be stable in sitting constantly on one place. For that, he has to reduce the belly, and for that's why yama niyama will make him to reduce the belly and to make him fit to sit in asana steadily. Then after that, sitting in the asana, then what he has to do? So we'll see in the next sloka. अभ्यासेन मनसा शुद्धम् त्रिवृत् ब्रह्माक्षरं परम् मनो यच्चेज्जितश्वासो ब्रह्म बीजमवस्मरन्. Translation.
Sitting in the above manner, make the mind remember the three transcendental processes of thought. And by regulating the breathing process, control the mind so as not to forget the transcendental state.
Yeah. Now, next step is after asana, pranayama is the process. When one utters the om is comprised of three syllables: akara, ukara, and makara. That's a trivrut. It is also known as trivrut. That means it is comprised of three letters, and composing these three letters together and made the om. And akara represents the Lord, and ukara represents jivatma, and makara represents the shakti of the Lord, if I am right. So these are each syllables have the different indications. So total om is representing the total absolute truth. So absolute truth is possessing of what? So different energies. So that's why akara is the Lord, and ukara and makara are the energies of the Lord. That means vishishta advaitam. So absolute truth is advaitam, and it is attributed with the what? Energies. So that's why vishishta advaitam. We are also following achintya bheda and vishishta advaitam are the similar parallel philosophies. Very close actually. So that's why our philosophy and the Sri Vaishnava's philosophy is samana pantaha. Almost all equal. But we have the they have advaita, that means abheda they are focusing, so mostly, but that is not simply abheda like the Suddha Advaita. In the case of the Shankaracharya, they follow. So Kevala Advaita, sorry, Kevala Advaita, they follow. Suddha Advaita is the philosophy of Vishnu Swami. So Vishnu Swami is Suddha Advaita. So here the point is this: by uttering the Om, what will happen? The breathing will be controlled. That's the pranayama. Pranayama, one does the control of his breathing. There is a relationship between the breathing and controlling of the mind. There is a strong relationship is there. For example, if you can observe when you do vrata, actually like Ekadas Nirjala vrata, and there is a connection between the anna and the prana, and there is a connection between the prana and mind and senses. If you don't take the anna, then prana will be reduced. It will become weak. When the prana is less, then what will happen? The function of mind also will become reduced. It will not jump so much. This is especially in the vratas time. If you don't eat, so as much as time goes, then your energy levels are going down. Prana will be reduced, and you'll be taking breathing like this. If you stay for 2 days, then you'll understand this. Prana will be so less, and at that time, what will happen? Then mind also will not be so much jumping. So that's why in the yoga process, what they do, they control their breathing. To control their breathing, they should sit steadily, and they have to sit steadily, they have to control their body. For that, they will be following the yama niyama. Then they will get the full grip on the body. So then they control their breathing by uttering the om. That's why it's the pranayama. Abhyaset manasa suddham trivrit brahmaksharam param mano yachet jitaswaso brahma bijam avismaran. It's recording. So, Trivikaradi vir Urdartanam Grathanam Yasitat Brahmaksharam. Om is comprised of three akaras, 3 syllables. So, auma, and this by uttering this will become what? Pranayama. This is 4th. Then after that, pranayam bahulyena prathamam manah yachet nischali kuryat. So tatascha niyamena manasa vishya. In the 7th sloka, in the 17th sloka, pranayam is over. We should remember the flow. 16th sloka is telling about yama niyama, and 17th is telling about pranayam, and 18th is telling about niyasche vishayebhyokshan manasa buddhi saradhi manah karma vir akshiptam ruparte dharayetiya.
Gradually, as the mind progressively by intelligence, the senses will become mind to observe material activities.
Yeah. Thank you. So then he controlled his breathing, jitaswasaha, able to control his breathing. Then what he has to do? By controlling the breathing, prana, one can control the mind. There is a relationship between the prana and the mind, and there is a relationship between the food and prana. When you reduce food or when you control food, prana will be controlled. When you control prana, when you are able to control prana, then you can control mind. This is a technique they follow. Now with that controlled mind, what they do? Tatascha niyatena manasa vishayebhyah sabdadibhyah sakashat akshan karnadi indriyani niyaschet iti pratyahara. His mind is now in his control. Using that controlled mind, he is able to control what? Senses. He is not allowing senses to go on the sense objects. This is the process. First is yama, niyama, then after that asana, then after that pranayama. Pranayama is that by that one is able to control the prana, and by controlling the prana, mind will be controlled. With the controlled mind, he is controlling his senses not to go onto the objects, sense objects. Then it is known as pratyahara. Pratyahara means controlling senses. It is known as pratyahara. That's a pancham. Now in the 18th sloka, fifth anga is being explained. And one more point, buddhi saradhi, nischayatmika buddhireva saradhi yasya saha. Tatah manah subharte bhagavad rupe dhiya dharayet iti dharana sasti. So now he is able to control his mind, and through that he is able to control his senses. Now his intelligence is also very strong. He keeps his intelligence very strong. With that strong intelligence, he takes this mind to meditate on the form of the Lord. Okay, I'll write on the board. Yama is following celibacy. Niyama is bathing in holy rivers. Asana as per scriptures. As per because the Patanjali Yoga Sutras explains how to sit, how to achieve asana. Achieving asana also is not an easy thing. So steadily sitting. So as per Yoga Shastras. One should sit. Then after that, so chant Om. So that breathing is controlled. So that controlling of breathing leads to what? Mind. Controlling of mind. And with that controlled mind, control the senses. That means controlling senses means not allowing senses to go towards their objects, sense objects. Then after that, next stage, dharana. So with fixed intelligence, that means now I don't want any pleasure from the outside world. Like that, he should fix his intelligence, should make it steady, and there is no doubt in that. And I am fully convinced that to get the pleasure from the Brahman. So like that, he is determined with this fixed intelligence. So put he should put his mind on. He should engage. So should engage his mind now. Now your mind is not going behind the sense objects. Generally, in the uncontrolled case, what will happen? Mind is always going behind the senses, and senses are going behind the sense objects. So like that, it happens. But now here, this mind is controlled and it's not going behind the senses, and it is in further, it is controlling that senses also. So then that controlled mind should be engaged on meditating on the form of the Lord. For that, he needs a fixed intelligence. That means he should have determination. Determination comes from where? Nischayatmika buddhi. The determination comes from buddhi. Is a function of what? Is the intelligence function. Determination is the function of intelligence. So then next, these three are in the sloka number 16. And this one is in the 17. And these two are in the 18. And 15, he started just giving the Astanga yoga. Until 14, we have seen glories of Bhakti and also namanukirtanam and so on and so. We can make a skit actually. If like one will be the Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and he is asking the questions. He is asking the question, and also there is assembly members. That means in that in front of him, they are coming from the Astanga yoga, Jnana yoga process. And they have to, that means Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question. By asking the question, the way Vishwanath is explaining, based upon that, we should make the dialogues. So as per our discussion in the class, so then, already, so these questions are so wonderful. Any questions asked, instead of just, there will be no sloka, just we have to make it dialogues. So Sukadeva Goswami is appreciating Parikshit Maharaj. Then Parikshit Maharaj, so is, so then after that link, whatever we have, then he is going to answer the half part of this Parikshit Maharaj's question. So like that, and in the what other yogis are thinking at the time. So like that, we should make this some small skit actually. It will be very nice. Maybe if someone write his dialogues, I can check, I can verify and do it. If anyone wants to volunteer this, if they make the groundwork, and if corrections I can do, but writing everything, I have no time. Maybe if anyone is interested, so please meet me up. Huh? He can do that. Yeah, he can. Yeah, yes. Maybe this chapter we can do, Prabhu, and second chapter we cannot do because second chapter is very difficult. And it's completely Astanga yoga process, and also Krama Mukti, Sadhya Mukti is completely, you cannot find dialogues. And in third chapter you can find once again. So many things you can, so many exchanges. I mean, Vishwanath, how he sees in everyone's heart. Speaker's heart also he goes and he thinks, and also listener's heart. And because of that, to make understand of that slokas, so you can assume that there is an intermediate dialogue also. Based upon the commentary, you can assume actually. So that's why it can come as a nicely like a skit form, because it's an event, na. It's not just like a classroom. It's happened. It's an event. That's why it can be played easily. It's an event. This is Sukadeva Goswami, Parishit Maharaj. Is it event? It happened. This so that it can be easily made. Anyway, so dharana, in the dharana stage, now with that mind, the controlled mind, he is engaging that mind to meditate the form of the Lord. Then what next? Bhagavad Rupe Dhya Dharayet Dharana Sasti. Kidrusham Manah Karmabir Akshiptam Prachina Karmanam Ati Prabhalyat Pranayamairapi Samyak Nischali Kartum Ashakti Ityartaha. Here, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, by using pranayam, he is able to control his mind some extent, but still it has to be controlled by the buddhi, intelligence. With the strong intelligence, one has to control this mind. That means I don't want any pleasure from this material world. I have to get pleasure from the Brahman or moksha. So that means determination he should have. That comes from where? That comes from the intelligence actually. Determination comes from intelligence. With that determined intelligence, he has to control the mind. Because it is prachina karmana ati prabhalyat. This mind is becoming more and more strong as much as we indulge in the sense objects. Then what will happen? The strength of the mind increases. It will become more powerful actually. As much as our senses and our mind being exposed to the varieties of the sense objects, and also experience of the variety of the experiences will lead to the impressions are very strong, and it will make the mind more and more fragile, more and more like flickering, is unstable. So that's why what has to be done? With the strong intelligence, he has to control and put that mind on the Lord's form. Then what next? Tatra ekavayam dhyayet avichinnena chetasa mano nirvishayam yuktva tatah kinchana nasmaret. Translation. One more line is there. Acha. Yet this one, na? Acha. Padam tat paramam Vishnu mano yatra prasidati. Over.
Thereafter, we should meditate upon the lips of Vishnu, one after another, not being deviated section of the practical body. Thus, the mind becomes free from all sense objects. There should be no other things to be thought upon. First, the secret personality of Vishnu is the ultimate truth. The mind is completely reconciled in one way.
Thank you. So here, this is the dhyana. The previous sloka, in 18th sloka, we have seen that is the dharana. The difference between the dharana and dhyana is, if he is able to meditate on limb by limb of the Lord, then it is known as dhyana. But if he meditates in general on the form of the Lord, then that is dharana. That means the intensified state of dharana is known as dhyana. So because he is able to meditate on each and every limb, means his focus is increased, na? So, but he is generally just, if he is meditating on the overall form of the Lord, then his mind is not so fixed actually. So that is the difference. And if someone like that doing meditating dharana, he takes some time, and by regularly meditating like that, So what will happen? Mind tries to go once again here and there. He brings that back and try to meditate, put on the form of the Lord. And like that, doing like the abhyasa he does. Then he is able to at least somehow or other in some part of the limbs of the Lord, he is able to meditate. Then that is known as continuously. Then that is known as dharana. But now that meditation is intensified, his mind is even more clearly controlled. Then what will happen? He can each and every in the limb, he can stick to himself and he can think about that. Then that is known as dhyana actually. Now he came to the what stage? Dhyana stage. This sloka is telling about dhyana. Tatra ekavayavam ekam. That means limb by limb, one by one. Bhagavad angam dhyaye. Iti dhyanam. Saptamam means seventh limb. Asre vishesha samanya chitta sthirikaranam dharana. Samanya means generally any part of the randomly is sometimes on the eyes, sometimes on the hands, and sometimes on the feet, sometimes, and he's like the switching. That means he's 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 unstable, but he is always in the form of the Lord. Now that is known as dharana. Now it is intensified. Now he is able to stick himself to the each and every part, and as per his wish, he is going up like that. Then this is known as dhyana. So avayava bhavanaya tadharityam dhyanam. That means intensified dharana is known as dhyana actually. Avivichinnena tasmad aviktena nirvishayam vishayasparsharahitam yuktva samyojya kinchana tatah anyat kimapi na smaret. Then what is the next stage? Okay. That means in that case, what will happen? Now this yogi is able to meditate on the each and every part of the Lord, every limb of the Lord, and completely he made his mind not to go to sense objects. Completely. That means he is not at all thinking anyat kimapi nasmaret. He is not thinking anything about this material world, anything in this material world. He is only thinking the limbs of the Lord. If he comes to this stage, this is known as, so not thinking anything of this material world is known as, that is the Brahman realization. You understood? In the dhyana stage now, his mind is not at all going on to the material objects. And this state is known as, Brahman realization. Yeah, samadhi is known as Brahman realization.
Which is Brahman realization, we know that there is no form, but the entire form is described.
Good question. So he is meditating on the Lord, and how this is, that means in the Brahman realization, there is no point of meditating on the form of the Lord. Yes, good question. Anyone wants to answer this? Question is clear. Actually, in the Brahman realization, we don't meditate on anything. That means any form of the Lord. But here he's still meditating on the form of the Lord. And so we are saying this is the experience of Brahman realization. Brahman realization, we are the realizing of the Brahman, we are saying how it is. Yeah.
Brahman here refers to God. He has realized the God.
No. We God only, but without attributes. No? But he is seeing the attributes of the Lord. But how can you say it's Brahman realization? Now, in the final, this stage is what? He is meditating, he is able to meditate on each and every limb of the Lord. And he completely took out his mind to not to go on the sense objects. And this stage is known as Brahman realization. I am saying, how can it be Brahman realization? But he is meditating on the form of the Lord. In the Brahman realization means no attributes, no form. Yeah.
He is not engaged in the service of the Lord.
Huh?
He is not engaged in the service of the Lord.
Huh?
Just admiring the form of the Lord. It's like Santaras. He is not engaged in service, like active service.
No, he is not Santaras.
He is just admiring the Lord, who is Brahman.
So, but he's remembering the form of the Lord, that is Smaranam, that is part of
Not engaged in service. It's not exactly.
Only about the personal features.
Yes, Prabhu.
His perception everything is Brahman. There is no material objects. So he is mentioning on that Supreme Brahman. In the form of Brahman, we can see.
But in beginning, you said that it is the process of Astanga Yoga. Astanga Yoga means Brahmatma realization. So there is no question of Brahma realization. Brahma means allegorically, I guess.
No, he's saying fact only. Just we'll take then more inputs will come, then we'll say answer.
Brahman doesn't always mean impersonal concept. It comes from Brihad, which is great. But the form of the Lord, which is being mentioned, is also Brahman. It can be said from realization.
But features are there, na?
Features are also Brahman.
But in the case of Brahman relation, there are no features. Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
One point what's coming in my mind that now I have reached on the platform of Brahman where I am able to completely restrain my senses from the external sense object. So at this point, this may be called as Brahman realization.
Okay. To some extent he came.
Impersonal is they was a bunch of person. But the goal is to merge in the external. And they are taking these as means, not the goal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they may be meditating on the Lord,
Yeah.
but their goal is to the impersonal liberation.
Yes, yes.
So that's why
Yeah.
by this they can.
Yes. Okay, you all said all some extent right. So here in the Brahman relation means what? Out from the material world. His consciousness should be out from the material world. Here now, what is the situation of this yogi? He made his mind not to touch anything in this material world. Yes, that's an avichinnena tasmad aviktena nirvishayam. Nirvishayam means vishaya sparsha rahitam. That means his mind is not touching anything, any sense object in this material world. So that means what? He is liberated from material world. And now, what about the main point? Is his point? What about his meditating on the form? But he's saying answer. So it is just what is the object for the meditation. It's not the point of any service. Like someone, they may keep this some dot and they try to meditate on that. So like that here, the Paramatma form is just an object for the meditation. But he is able to achieve, that means he is able to make his mind successfully to come out from this material world because he did that kind of, that means remembrance. It is also part of the bhakti, but he doesn't have mood of serving. But in the case of devotees, he is remembering for the pleasure of Krishna. But here he is remembering the form of the Lord just to get out from the material world. So that's why he doesn't have any service mentality. No, there is no service mentality. So he's making the Lord form as an object for the meditation so that he can make his mind controlled and not to go on the material things. Make it steady, for making mind steady. But what happens here, in the case of these Astanga yogis, since they are seeing the beautiful form, they gradually start developing the love for him, actually, got getting the attraction. And then what they say, they do in that next level, so they stop getting the attraction. They are very, that means, hard-hearted people. That means this smarana rupa bhakti is making them to get attraction towards the Lord, to that beautiful form. But they forcibly, they stop their attraction towards the Paramatma. And so finally what? They will be just out from this material world. That is the state, is known as Brahman realization. Forcefully they control, actually, attraction towards the Lord. This is said in the Kapila Bhagavan, actually. In the 27th chapter of 3rd canto, you'll be seeing there, actually. Anyway, it will be coming in the future.
Explains how he gets this Paramatma realization as it goes towards. That's how the overall works. Then it goes. So there does not explain how is actually
Bhakti yoga.
like once the astanga yoga process will be takes, and then he gets the realization of Paramatma. As the Paramatma becomes so attractive, then he cannot stop serving him. That's how the next process is Bhakti yoga. That's how the yoga letter progress. Otherwise, if this is the case, then yoga letter cannot.
Actually, what is the principle of the axons of the bhakti? Even this Astang yogi, until and unless if he doesn't get the association of the pure devotee, who will explain to him, so this yogi thinks that this attraction is also not good for me. But if he come in contact with the devotee, then only his perception changes. Today also we have seen what is the end of all the process. So here there, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, if they get the association of the devotees, then only their perception will change. Otherwise, they are seeing the Lord as the object for the meditation. That and anyabhilasha sunyam. This means not desiring this liberation and serving is the only the highest the principles and highest the truth. This will be convinced to him by the mercy of the pure devotee. Otherwise, they will never come. Automatically will not happen. No yogis, bhakti comes from the bhakti. Yeah. But they are using this smarana, that means meditation. This is a process in their Ashtanga yoga process. Meditating on the Paramatma is also one of the limb of Ashtanga yoga. They are not treating this Ashtanga yoga as this meditating on the Lord as the bhakti. No, they are using bhakti as part of their process. And like that, they are trained actually by their guru, Ashtanga yoga guru. But when they come in contact with the devotees, oh, whatever you are getting that attraction, that is the ultimate actually. And you stop going and merging into the Brahman and you should serve him. Like that, someone has to give yeah. Then only bhakti comes. That is a siddhanta. If we say, then what will happen? Bhakti can come automatically. It will become pure devotion will come automatically. It will happen. So no, we can see here one. Yeah.
Because of the Nishma essentially which happened. So then Gyan is perfection gets into a strong. So then how that yoga is that's why.
Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, or rather in Uddhava Gita, in all our literatures, Tavat karmani kurvita nanividyata yavata matkata shravanado va shraddha yavanna jayate. This is the fundamental sloka. Jiva Goswami takes this and he explains. So when they come in association of the Jnanis, they come into the Nishkama Karma Yoga. And when their heart is purified by that, they will enter into the Jnana. So, and here the two processes are there. You can make it as like one more, like this, parallel paths. One can be the Astanga Yoga, and one can be the is a parallel actually.
In the stage of astanga, also can be seen in this. They can also can come in the first 6 stages of astanga.
Actually, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 4th chapter, he's explaining about the Jnana Yoga. And better than this yoga is, so that means now Arjuna asks whether I should leave the karma or not. Then he says that one should not leave the karma and he should do aruruksha till the stage he come to the dhyana. So yeah, he has to do. It's the ending of the 5th chapter. Ending of the 5th chapter, we are going to see the Astanga Yoga is the parallel process to the Jnana, not the one after another problem. As per the Vishwanath explanations in the 5th chapter, where is that? Parallelly problem here. And all these yogis, jnanis and yogis, Ashtanga yogis and jnanis, they never come to the Suddha Bhakti. Suddha Bhakti, coming to Suddha Bhakti means they should come here. They should come here actually. This is a pure devotional path. For that, they need to have the full faith on the Lord. They should not have any faith on their process, Jnana Yoga process or Ashtanga Yoga process. Jnana Karma Dhyanavrutam. Adi means Ashtanga Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, all. So they should not be having any kind of attachment or otherwise any kind of dependency on that. And they should come to the full faith on the Bhakti Yoga process. Then if they put full faith on the Bhakti Yoga process, then they are entering into the pure devotion. For getting that, they need the Mahat Kripa. The association of pure devotees is needed. So that's why here, from in this path, if anyone wants to come to here, there is a need of association. Then only they can come. Even what they think, actually, natural thing is when they meditate on the Paramatma, attraction will come. But he will forcefully stopping that. He thinks that it is also another kind of attachment. I should not get this. That is the just to.
Then what will be the difference between Ashtanga Yogi and Brahman realization? He will be forcefully stopping from remembering. He will be remembering Paramatma form.
Then what he will do? In his heart, he is seeing Paramatma. Then he will stop meditating on the Paramatma and he will focus on that Hridaya Akasha, that is space. In that empty space, he is meditating.
That yogi,
Astanga yogi. Then he will be going and merging into the Brahman. That is explained in the 11th again, in the Uddhava Gita.
Both have same destination. Brahma, that following the Brahma yogi, that Brahman realization and Paramatma realization. Both have same destination.
They will go to the Nirvana. That means they will go and merge into the Brahman.
Both.
Here one thing. If Ashtanga yogi has the Bhakti Mishra, he is having some mix of the Bhakti, then what will happen? You will get in Salokya. That is explained in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So since he is remembering the Krishna, since he is remembering the Krishna, ma manusmaran, so so by remembering the Lord, if he leaves the body, then he will reach the Lord. But he doesn't have any service mode. He is just remembering the Lord. At the time of the death also, he is remembering the Lord. So that's why he is going to the Salokyas. But they are not doing any service there. Simply sitting there. That is the Salokya Mukti. That is another kind of. But who wants to, he is making Paramatma as only object of the meditation. Then he will go and merge into the Brahman. But he is loving the Paramatma. He is just He is seeing Paramatma everywhere, and he's at the time of death also, he is just remembering the Lord. Then he will go to the Salokama. There is a difference between those two, a subtle difference. Here the little bhakti is there to get the Salokya Mukti, and to go and merge into Brahman, even that is also known. Yeah.
Here in 7th chapter, it says Jara Paran Mokshaya Mahamashita Yatam. Te Brahmata Vidu Vishram Adhyat Karam Chan. 7.29.
7 point last sloka, na?
7.29.
Yes, yes.
And person is at the last day Jara Paran Mokshaya Mahamashita.
Ah.
They have taken.
So they are remembering the Krishna, that's why they are go to Salokya. In the next chapter, 8th chapter, he is elaborating that. Then how to remember you? Arjuna asked the question, at the time of death, how to remember you? Can you tell me? Then Krishna says that you should start remembering now onwards. So that means Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manuswara Iddhisha Bharata, like that he says. Like that. Then they finally, what is the outcome of that? Then Salokya Mukti. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that there is Salokya Mukti for them.
If we get a Salokya Mukti, then don't have service.
No, sorry.
Then he has to come back.
No, he because he did the bhakti and he'll be there only. But if he get association there, then he'll go up. But he never fall down. He said already in the 7th, in the 8th chapter ending, he says, whoever is leaving, so in the Uttarayana time, so and also in the Sukla Paksha, they will never come back. That's the power of the bhakti. They did little bhakti, so that's why they got the permanent solution from the relief from this material. They can upgrade if they get the association there. Yeah. Yes. Dhyana yoga. Jnana yogis and astanga yogis difference is, so jnana yogis, they are approaching tattvadarshi. That is said in the 4th chapter. So they are approaching tattvadarshi. That means on the strength of the knowledge, they try to see everything as one. They study the Upanishads and they understand absolute truth is Brahman, which doesn't have any attributes, and that's why they have to, based upon the knowledge. Jnana yogi means knowledge. On the strength of the knowledge, what kind of knowledge? Everything is one. That is the knowledge actually. On that strength, they try to see everything without any quality. He doesn't want to see any qualities in the object. If you don't see qualities of the object, then what will happen? Everything is one. That's a very difficult process. And compared to that, Astanga Yoga is better. But compared to all of this, in the last endings in the 6th chapter, it says Bhakti Yoga is best. Maya Saktamana. That is continuing in the 7th chapter. Yeah. Okay.
Just wanted to understand. After Samadhi, on meditating on the form of the Lord, and he dies running that form, then and
but he doesn't have any bhakti na actually. So here he will not remember the form of the Lord. He will remember that I couldn't achieve my goal. That he will remember and he will take birth once again. Because his interest is not the form of the Lord. He is making the form of Lord as a tool actually. He is making it as a tool for what? Controlling the mind. So that's why what he will remember? He will remember I didn't achieve my Brahman lives. That he will remember. Then he will take the Yoga Brashta and he will take once again. So in the families of Yogi, he will take birth. Whoever is reaching there. But whoever is doing the little yoga, then they will be taking birth in the Suchina. Also in the good house, they will in a right, that means clean house, they will be taking birth, or otherwise rich people's house. Yeah.
The process of Ashtanga Yoga is recommended in the entire Bhagavatam. If you see Dhruv Maharaj, he did Ashtanga Yoga. He saw Paramatma. If you see Kartamuni, he also did Ashtanga Yoga. Everyone is performing Ashtanga Yoga.
In that yoga, it is okay, Prabhu. Now it's not. But
how they develop?
So actually, Narad Muni gave the mercy actually. So because of that, that is not pure Ashtanga Yoga. No. So in the case of the Dhruva Maharaj, it's not pure Ashtanga Yoga. Yeah, it's chanting the mantra. Yeah, he got association of pure devotee. And that power is there, and because of that he got attached. He, according to the Bhakti Sandarbha, Kardamuni is not the actually meditation. He did the Sakama Karma Mishra Bhakti. He used to do the rituals. He says like that actually. Jiva Goswami defines is a Sakama Karma Mishra Bhakti. He had the desire of getting good wife. With that, he did some rituals. This meditation is also part of the rituals. So that's why it's like a karma only. So and also he has a bhakti also. He has bhakti plus desire for the material results. So that's why it is categorized as a sakama karma mishra bhakti. That's the Acharya's. But after that he became pure devotee. After that he became pure. Yeah. Yes. After that he became pure devotee.
Is there any example of Jnana yogis, and also in what context we should see like those who follow Sankaracharya's commentary, like they operate the Lord, and like how is there a sacred example of Jnana yogis also, and in contemporary how to see the Jnana yogis?
In contemporary, I don't know. So maybe some are might be there. But most are the Advaita followers. Even they don't know the proper Advaita philosophy also. That's the main problem. So because in Banaras, when I studied actually there, so we cannot see such a strong follower also of the Advaita philosophy. And also there are the more than 100 to 150 versions are there in Advaita philosophy. Siddhanta Lesha Sangraha. That means after Shankaracharya didn't give the concrete philosophy. He said something Advaita, but when you read the commentary, there will be so many questions will be coming. To answer those questions, many disciples give the many versions of explanations. Like that, more than 100 philosophies are there under the Advaita banner. It's very difficult, and it's a Eka Jivavada, Aneka Jivavada, like that, many are there actually. Chayavada, Pratibhimbavada, like that many are. Abhasavada. They themselves are confused. What Vada they should follow among 100.
Traditionally, how it was
And traditionally, in Satya, yeah. Shankaracharya is Kali Yuga, is not for meant for Dhyana Yoga. So what they do, they do the Jnana Yoga actually, not the Dhyana Yoga. They will be studying the Upanishads, they will be studying the Vyakaran, then after that they will be studying the Upanishads. And based upon the Upanishads, they will be seeing the absolute truth as so Brahman. Because they will be selecting in the Upanishads those sentences which describe, that means oneness, Ekat, oneness, Abheda Vakyas. Like example, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. So like the Tattvamasi. These are the sentences, Upanishad sentences only, which are establishing the non-difference, Abheda. So that's why they take these sentences and they contemplate on this, and they fully realize themselves as everything is one. And with that convinced knowledge, they try to see they try to see non-difference among the objects. For that, they will be nullifying attributes. But since they have offensive mentality towards the Lord, they cannot be successful in that.
Is there any example that somebody has thought of what should be pointed out? Like we say that Shiva says in the comfort of remove the Maya.
That's the 14th chapter, 10th canto.
But somebody actually from Maya has got a lot of Jyoti and has fallen down from that place.
Actually, Jiva Goswami says on this, no one comes. And another thing is, if anyone wants to fall down, there is only the one reason is Anadruta Ishmadangraya. No. Anadruta Ishmadangraya. Maya otherwise never go. Our Acharyas never accept that. They will never go actually.
Then only as far as you are reaching their house.
Jnana yogis they can.
Pure Jnana.
Pure Jnana yogis, not Astanga, not the Advaitins. So proper Jnana yogis they go. But only when, but Vimukta Manina they, that sloka is telling about Jivan Mukta. The person still who is in the body but is liberated. So in that case, if he commit any offense, here only, then he'll fall from that. stage.
In this world.
In this-
If somebody has not really gone and
After going there, then there is no nothing, no interaction actually. Then it's merging with Brahman. Yeah.
this reason you would see that their soul is alone there, no rasa is there, so
And, because not lacking of rasa is not the cause. There in that sloka you see anadruta ishmadangraya. That means anadruta means disrespecting. Ishmadangraya means your lotus feet. Whoever is disrespecting the Lord's lotus feet or the Lord or the devotion or devotees, then they will fall.
so they are in this world also.
Ah,
You are talking about Jivan Mukta.
yes,
Jivan Mukta will fall down from this position in this world only.
yes.
But if somebody has really gone, he will not fall.
He will not fall. Because there is no chance of disrespecting Lord and Lords. Yeah, that is the all the time.
That there is no exchange.
No exchanges.
Come on.
This is the explanation we see in the Acharya's commentaries, and Prabhupada also says yes. And sometimes he also says no one will fall down. Even sometimes he says no one is falling from Vaikuntha. Also he says, and sometimes he says so we are fell from the Vaikuntha like that. So, but ultimately we have to see that strongly whatever all these points parameters are, so there to bring everyone into the fix into the sadhana. So ultimately, if you see any point of any point, whatever the in the preaching time, whatever Prabhupada says, the main core intention is bringing them and fixing them in the sadhana. So not to get attraction for anything other than this. And for this, he is the master actually. In explaining this, Prabhupada is the master actually. Nobody is parallel to him. And he can go to any extent actually. He never cared for anything. So, but his intention we have to understand and is very pure. And only thing is how to engage every jiva in the sadhana bhakti, in the pure devotional service. So that is the Prabhupada's mood actually. So we should take that as mood. And also in our organization also there are some our gurus also, some they say this and some gurus say this, and it's like a no need to discuss, like that resolution is passed. Ultimate result is passed that no need, one should not discuss this into the classes. And we will also stop that. We don't do that. But I'm saying just our Jiva Goswami or our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says like this. That means. Yeah.
If someone goes to Brahman, there is no there is not that content, he cannot come also. What is further
That's in the 8th chapter. It is said, na Prabhu. After going there, then there is no falling actually.
no calling that okay. And no growth also.
That's permanent actually.
They will hang from the
Yeah, like that.
where Salokya there is four.
Yes.
So
Yes, that's why Salokya Mukti, Sarupya, Sarishti, and Samipya. These are better than the Sahitya. That is also said by the Acharya. Sahitya in the nectar, in the Ishaprishad, it is worse than the hell. Sahitya Mukti. Because if you go there, then no hope. No association of devotees. Even, but you cannot fall. But if you go to Naraka, you can get the Prahlad Maharaj association, Bali Maharaj association, Yamaraj association. There is good chance actually. Where to go to Naraka? That's why.
So that's the Prabhupada said it's like this.
Yeah,
spiritual suicide.
yeah, it's a society.
But how Lord can tolerate this because Lord, that Shiva is also Lord entity, so Lord want to give some chance to everyone. Because there is some very bad situation that they have no chance to further go.
Actually, Lord says that Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I am not envious towards anyone, or I am not friend to anyone. Until unless if you don't approach him, he never interfere into their life.
Lord is always giving chance to approach Him in every situation. So why when Brahman there is no chance to approach Lord?
Because they want that, because some people want it, they don't want to be with the Lord forever. What to, you have to give justice to them also, na? Okay, then go here. It's the beauty of the Lord, it's not the divinity of the Lord. He is so liberal. Okay, if you want to be not to be with me and you want to be like that, be there. If it is that is not created, then where is the chance for such a people?
How can we call this Lord? If some desire is not.
Yeah. How he can be Lord? Yes, that's the beauty actually. Instead of the defect. Okay, Prabhu will continue. I have to finish. My God, lot of time. Prabhu, this we should finish today. No. After class. Yeah. Please, we'll finish our content.
We can have another class like 5:30 to
No. It's not pay. They have a lot of services. So, whoever is able to come to the stage of dhyana, then after that, what will happen? Finally, his mind is not touching any kind of sense objects, completely out from that. And also, even if he is meditating on the Lord, it's just a matter of it's just an object of the meditation, that's all. And he doesn't have any attraction for that. So then that state is known as Brahman realization. We'll go to the next 20. Rajastamobhyamakshyptam vimudham mana atmanah yache dharanaya dhiro hanti ya tatrutam malam.
One's mind is always agitated by the passionate mode of material nature and bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. But one can rectify such conceptions by the relation of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them.
This is the turning point once again. Here, if he is trying to not allowing mind to go behind the sense objects, but he's trying, but he is not able to successful in that, then what? Yeah, try again, that's good. So he has to try again. Okay. Gunavashat punarapi kshobe sati dharanaiva stiri kuryadityah. That means he has to come back once again dharana stage. He step down and try to first general meditation. That means generally meditating on the form of the Lord. So general meditation he should do and make it steady and then go by limb. And like that, he has to practice this. So kuryat. Stiri, finally he should make it stable. Rajasa akshiptam tamasa vimudam siyam manah nirundya. So by the process of dharana, that means from the dhyana he fell down now and he came to dharana and once again he practice it, dharana properly and go back. But in the case of Bhagavad Gita, what is said, until and unless one is fixed to in the fixed dhyana, he should do nishkam karma yoga. He should aruruksha. Aruruksha means the stage behind the below the dhyana is everything is known as aruruksha. So that what will happen, even if we get this some kind of sense gratification, strong sense desire for the sense gratification, it came, but he is at least now in the karma yoga, he can fulfill those desires and try to become more strong in the nishkam karma yoga, and so that he can safely go the journey, he can make it. But once he is able to make the mind fully fixed on the Lord, dhyana is fixed, then he can leave the home and he can continue that. That is the solution Lord gave in Bhagavad Gita. So here Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, so he should come to the dharana, even in the, so he should come to the dharana and make it strong and then go to the once again dhyana.
Once you take sannyas,
Yeah.
in Dhyan, you're taking sannyas. You're completely 100% pure.
Yeah.
But if you pass, you cannot get back again.
Then that means eating their own vomit, vantashi. Yeah, here also I think to make it more solid, we should take the input from the Bhagavad Gita also. So now we should think that he didn't leave the karma, nishkam karma, like this. He is practicing. Yeah.
Or in mind, he can, on mind level, he can agitate. Can we take that sense? He is agitating whole mind, not like.
No, my agitation came in the mind, then that will be like a pralaya actually, because they are not devotees. That's like a devastation that will grow like anything. So, then it will lead to the lust, then it will lead to the krodha, then it will lead to so many things. You will fall down. So that's why Krishna says very careful. Nishkam karma yogis. So to enter into the Jnana Yoga or the Astanga Yoga, they should be very careful. They should not leave the Nishkam karma so whimsically like that. He again and again reminds. So even if Grihastha who is doing the Nishkam karma yoga, so he is better than the sannyasi who is leaving all the karma, but who is thinking about the sense objects. He is worse actually. He is lower than that Grihastha. So like that he chastises and he says, instructs so many times.
Also again all the time.
Yes, sir.
It's in material.
Yeah.
Although his mind is perceiving beyond the material, but the Brahman is still here.
Yes.
They will attack till he is perfect.
Yeah, it's very difficult actually. Klesh is a very difficult process. They don't help us with bhakti, no? They are not depending on the Lord. So that's why Lord will not take care in controlling their senses. Lord will be interfering in the devotee's case to control their senses. Because when we eat the prasadam, when we chant the holy name, he is sitting on our senses and he is controlling that. So we have so much benefit. But what benefit they have? Nishkam karma yogis, jnana yogis, astanga yogis, they don't have any benefit. Lord is not at all bothering about them. Do whatever process you want to do. And he is sitting and seeing, okay, But in the case of devotees, so he always very much so careful about it. So even sometimes devotees fell down. So sometimes Lord also give his mercy in the form of falling down. So that some amount of time you'll be away from the bhakti, then that kind of separation will intensify their devotion. Then after that, they will come with the 1,000 times multiplied intensive bhakti. So that's why in the case of the devotees, our journey is so safe journey. Full protection is there. Yeah. In the case of Bharat Maharaj, yeah, he created the karma for him. So Lord himself created the karma for him and he created the attraction for that small material object, that's a deer. And then after that, so then Bharata Maharaj, while he was in that deer body also, his bhakti is so intensified, like other deers is not playing, not doing any, that means eating, intercourse, nothing actually. Simply that's, so Rishi's ashram is sitting and is thinking about the Lord. This is the beauty of the bhakti.
When we are talking about it, so are we are talking about the pure devotee. There is some specific.
If we stick to karma and also bhakti, that means karma Mr. Bhaktas, still who has, that means my bank balance and my position and my karma is going to save me. That kind of, so supportive, he's feeling the support on these things. and also he is doing the worship, then in that case he is not fully surrendered. So then in that case, Lord is also reciprocating with them like that only. That means since they are not fully surrendered, Yogakshema Vahamiham is saying for whose case? Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Ye Jana Paripasante Tesham Nityam Yogakshema Vahamiham. Whoever is fully surrendered to me, in their case, I will take full responsibility. If you are half surrendered, then I will take half responsibility. that he has own calculations where you are depending on him, where you are not depending on him. He also knows how much you know. He also knows that, and accordingly he will also reciprocate like that. But if one surrender fully, like if you are selling something, some object to someone, like a cow is sold to some other one, so are given to someone, then we are not taking care about that. Like that, if you sell out whole thing to Lord, so then he will take care. That's his responsibility. That depends upon the intensity of the surrenderance. So now the problem is coming. Someone is touched with the rajas and tamas here. Huh? So we'll continue. Later question. Yeah. So the point is, now this person, this yogi, is not able to retain in the dhyana stage. He is coming to the dharana. He should come to the dharana. And now his heart is touching with the rajas and tamas. So because of this, he is getting the some material desire. That means some contamination is there. Then what he has to do? In the case, according to Bhagavad Gita, he has to continue Nishkama Karma Yoga, and also along with that dharana he has to do. But here, what is the solution is given by the Sukadeva Goswami? He is asking, so instead of meditating on the Lord, in the dharana stage, you should meditate on the Lord. Instead of meditating on the Lord, you should meditate on the Virat Bhupa. That is another solution actually. There are two different solutions. One is continuing the Nishkama Karma Yoga along with the Dharana. So that is the one solution that is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Here the solution is, so in the Dharana stage, if you left the home, for example, suppose if you left the home, so then in that case, what he has to do? He has to meditate on universal form, Virat form. What is going to happen by that? That we'll be seeing now. 21st sloka. यस्यां संधार्यमाणायां योगिनो भक्तिलक्षणः आशु सम्पद्यते योग आश्रयं भद्रमीक्षतः. Translation.
Okay. In the system of irreverence, like being fixed with the habit of seeing all with personal conception of the form. One can very soon attain pushing service to the Lord, direction.
Yeah. यतः यस्यां धारणायां भक्तिरेव लक्षणं चिह्नं यस्य सः भक्तिमिश्रस्य एव योगस्य मोक्ष साधकत्वोक्तेः न तु भक्तिरहितस्य इति भावः. So what here? Yasyam samdharyamanaayam yoginah bhakti lakshanah. It's not bhakti, it's a bhakti lakshanah. So when this yogi, this astanga yogi is coming to the dhyana stage and is meditating on the different limbs of the Lord, so this meditation is bhakti lakshanah. So because of this kind of bhakti only, he is able to take away his mind from these sense objects. Otherwise, what will happen? one may say, instead of meditating on the Lord form, I will meditate on, I will take some point and I will meditate on that point. But meditating on the point is not happening any kind of, is it in that, if you meditate on some material object or some point, so is it going to be a bhakti? No, no. So now here he is meditating on the Lord. So that is that meditation itself is a limb of the bhakti. Is a limb of the bhakti. Because of that, Bhakti Maharani is impressed and she is going to give whatever result he wanted. What he want? He want to be out from the material anxieties, material world. That is sanctioned. That means any yoga process without help of bhakti, never successful, never result. So here in this Astanga yoga process, what kind of bhakti is happening? This is the kind of bhakti. So this smaranam itself is a kind of bhakti, and because of that, he is. Of course, he doesn't have any pure desire. That means, but he is doing the remembrance. Remembrance is also activity done by the mind. So related to the Lord, that means Krishnanu is there. So that's why it is also bhakti, but it is not Anyabilasha Sinim. It's not the Anyabilasha Sinim Krishnanu. Or otherwise, it's not the Gnana Karma Janavruta Krishnanu. It is just a Krishnanu. So because of this much, at least he did this much service to the Lord. So that's why being impressed by him, Bhakti Maharani is giving the liberation to him. So that's why here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, because of this kind of bhakti is there, that's why he is able to successfully getting the liberation. Otherwise, he couldn't have get it. In the case of Jnana Yogis also, they should meditate on that means they should use the knowledge. That means I am not Brahman, I am not the body, I am Brahman. That means whatever the Upanishads are saying, that knowledge they should understand and they should get it. On the strength, they try to see the oneness among all the objects. Along with that, they should do Shravanam Kirtanam. That is said in the Bhagavad Gita. So in the Jnana Yoga process, otherwise Jnana Yoga process will not be successful. So Krishna says, so Matparayanaha, he says, that sloka number I forgot. So there, that means he has to do some limbs of the bhakti, the Shravanam Kirtan along with that. So then what will happen? Then he is able to see everything as so one. So that's why any process, even the Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, or Nishkama Karma Yoga, everywhere there is a need of the bhakti element. Without support of bhakti, they never get the result. So that is the point here is being said. That means bhakti misrasya eva yogasya. That means misra bhakti yoga only moksha sadhakatvokte natu bhakti rahitasya. Without the element of bhakti, just any yoga is not going to give any result. No. The success of mystic performance is achieved only by the help of devotional attitude. Pantheism, or the system of feeling the presence of the Almighty everywhere, is a sort of training of the mind to become accustomed to the devotional conception. And it is this devotional attitude of the mystic that makes possible the successful termination of such mystic attempts. One is not, however, elevated to such successful status without the tinge of mixture of devotional service. Bhakti misrasya yoga eva, so moksha sadhakatve hetu. So moksha will come with the yoga which is mixed with some extent of bhakti. So that means after all, there are so many sadhanas in this whole universe, but they are not successful without the help of bhakti. Then why we have to follow those? Better to follow bhakti, which is so powerful. It can give the results of those sadhanas also, even better results, and which doesn't need any others' help also. What is the best business? Is doing the purely devotion is the best business instead of going for the other process. Next. So now, so Parikshit Maharaj is asking, यथा संधार्यते ब्रह्मन्
यथा संधार्यते ब्रह्मन्
धारण यत्र सम्मता यादृशी वा हरेदाशु पुरुषस्य मनोमलम्.
What may be Parikshit inquired further, said, "O Brahmana, he described in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied, how conception can be fixed so that the everything of person mind."
Yeah. In the 19th or 20th sloka, we have seen if one is not able to fix his mind on the Lord continuously, if his mind is touched by the Rajo and Tamo Guna, so then what he has to do? He has to do dharana. That he said. Now, based upon that, he's asking question. So he should do the dharana. Dharana means meditating on the form of the Lord. So which form he should meditate? He should try to meditate on that form only or anything else to remove that mala, whatever is there mala in the heart. What he should do? So that is the question he is asking here. Where? Please describe in full details. In full details, he said that Sukadeva Goswami he hinted just one hint he gave. If he is not able to stay on the dhyana stage, then he has to do the dharana. But now Parishit Maharaj is asking on what he should do the dharana, on what form, and how he should do. And it is leading to the another big chapter and so much. This question itself, otherwise Astanga Yoga might have been finished. This one question lead to the another one more chapter, 1.5 chapter. Why one may ask, what is the Parishit Maharaj is a pure devotee, and his Gurudev is Sukadev. So Sukadev Goswami is also his Guru, and he is also pure devotee. And both already discussed that. So Bhakti Yoga is the highest. Already it is established, na? So till the 14th sloka, na? What is it? 14, yeah. Till 14, we already, that means Sukadev Goswami expressed his feeling. Bhakti Yoga namanukirtanam. So this is the best thing he established. So now what is the point? Why Parishit Maharaj is asking this question? If someone, this yogi, is not able to meditate on, is not able to stay on the dhyana stage, then what he has, why he needs? Yeah.
Consequently, he said that I was mentioning that he was fearful that he has less time. Then again, he is asking this.
Already Parishit Maharaj is convinced na, with the Bhakti Yoga. And Sukadev Goswami also expressed the best thing is namanukirtanam. It's over na, everything. So, but since to emphasize the Bhakti, so Sukadev Goswami took the topic of Astanga Yoga and started explaining this. But in this, there is a problem came. That means Sukadev Goswami is going lightly. That means if he is one not able to fix his mind on the dhyana, then let him come to the dharana once again and do that. But now here, why Parishit Maharaj is asking?
So that after hearing this, he have no doubts.
Yes.
So that I can completely fix.
Yes.
Otherwise, sometimes maybe that process also.
This is very important actually. In other places of the comment, it is said that many times we think that what is the need of knowing the other process? But knowing the other process will make us very clear about our goal. It convince, I mean, it will fix about our goal. So that's why one should be thoroughly understand all other processes which are explained in the Bhagavatam. So you should not think that they are simply unnecessarily they are explained. No, they are all also having the intention of that. So to make us fully to become unflinching devotee, that means to become a so ahaituki apradhata bhakti. To get that, so these topics are being discussed thoroughly. Like like karma mishra bhakti, gnana mishra bhakti, sakama karma mishra bhakti, so nishkama karma gnana mishra bhakti, like that bhakti matra kama karma mishra bhakti. Like so many varieties are there. And satvika bhakti, rasika bhakti, tamasika bhakti, nirguna bhakti, gauna bhakti, like that aropa siddha bhakti, sangha siddha bhakti, like that so many are there. Varieties of bhaktis are there. And what is the need of discussing all this in this Bhagavatam? Only thing is, ultimately, everyone should understand very scrutinizingly the definition of Suddha Bhakti. So that is the purpose. So that's why we should also know. And once again, here Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question. If that person is falling from the dhyana, then what he should do? He jignasa eva. Vishwanath is saying he wants to know only, but he doesn't want to do. Not chikirsha. There is a difference between chikirsha and jignasa. Chikirsha means interest to do. Jignasa means interest to know. He has only chikirsha. He doesn't have chikirsha. He has jignasa. He doesn't have chikirsha.
The mind cannot overpower the
Yeah.
intelligence is big, mind cannot-
Very fixed. Yeah. Intelligence will become very strong. Yes. That's why सतां प्रसंगात् मम वीर्य संविदो भवन्ति उत्कर्ण रसायन तज्जोषनाद आशु अपवर्ग वर्त्मनि श्रद्धा रतिर भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति. That means by keep on hearing the glories which are explained in the Bhagavatam, what will happen? Shraddha will come. That means a strong determination to follow the bhakti. So that is a shraddha. That will be improving. That is also important factor. Most of the times we overlook, and because of overlooking the other process, we have hidden misconceptions in our process actually. That will make us anytime to be unstable. So that's why Shraddha means asambhavana, viparita bhavana, nivritti. That means why we have to follow Krishna only. And there will be so many doubts regarding this. Those are all asambhavanas. Why I have to accept Krishna only, Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why I have to accept pure devotional service only, the ultimate? So regarding this, there are so many questions. Those also should be removed. And viparita bhavanas. That means sometimes you may think that so karma mishra bhakti may be best, gnana mishra bhakti may be best, or this may be that. Why not karma mishra bhakti? Why not gnana mishra bhakti? Why not the other supreme? Why they are not supreme? So this kind of doubts also will come. So those doubts also has to be removed. These will be removed when we strictly, sincerely serve the Bhagavatam. And that means here, so in detail, then it will remove. Then our Shraddha will become very strong, like solid. Then he will be sticking to the, when Shraddha is strong, then what is the resultant? Then sadhana bhakti will be very strong. Otherwise, sadhana will be dwindling, is weak actually, not able to steady in his sadhana. Okay.
Also arranged in such a way that
Yeah.
we practice, but these type of conflicts comes in our.
Yes.
Even they see many devotees, they practice. What is this? Something more attached to
Yoga, karma,
yajna.
Yes.
Why?
Because there is something, some misconception or doubts are there actually. And unknowingly they make the for bhakti support of the karma, support of the gnana, they add it actually. And they don't know also they are doing karma mishra bhakti. And they don't know that they are doing gnana mishra bhakti. So very unfortunate situation this. So that's why Vyasadeva very scrutinizingly he verified all the scriptures, all the millions and millions of slokas, and he compiled this book. And he taught to his son because he has so much love for his son. That's why he told first to him. I know everyone will be having that. So it's not the material love, but it is this transcendental love he has. That is the beauty of the Vyasadeva. Anyway. So the reason why he is going in details of this, he has only jignasa. So that one can be steady in the fixed in the pure devotional service. Sukhabhimatayam Suddha Bhakto eva pravrityauchityat. Because he is a disciple of Sukadeva Goswami. You should not think about that he is going to be now interested in the doing the astanga yoga. No. So that means one should not think that the Parikshit Maharaj is asking question about the dharana stage in the Astanga yoga process, that doesn't mean that he has any some kind of loose faith on his guru or the bhakti yoga process. No, only just to know. He has jignas. That's why he's asking this question. Then what Sukadeva Goswami is replying? Sri Shuka Uvacha Jitasano Jitaswaso Jitasango Jitendriya Stule Bhagavato Rupe Manah Sandharaye Dhiya.
Sukhdev Goswami answered, one should control the sitting posture, regulate the breathing process by the yogic pranayama, and thus control the mind and senses. And with intelligence, apply the mind to the gross potencies of the Lord or the Virat.
Ah. So whose heart is having still some kind of mala, and they should not meditate on the Paramatma. No, they should meditate on Virat Rupa. That means they should come down to the dharana stage, and in the dharana stage, you should meditate on the Virat Rupa. So, what is the benefit of meditating on Virat Rupa? How it is connected to purification of the heart? Meditating on the Virat Rupa, how it is connected to the purification of the heart? This may be the question. Any guess?
Once we understand, I'm just trying.
Yeah.
Once we understand that everything is energy of the Lord, then the enjoyment will absolutely.
Yeah. That's good. And any other additions, elaboration? Yeah.
Because when we see the material things as the form of the Lord, so the impersonal conception gets reduced.
Impersonal conception reduced. And how?
Like the actual divine form of the Lord, we see through scripture, but that is not so relatable in actual context. But these material objects are rivers and rains, clouds, mountains, and all these are highly relatable.
Yes.
Because they are even seen through the gross senses itself, right there.
Yes.
So it is highly relatable. So it is like an easier process.
Yeah.
So,
But how it will be helpful for the purification of the heart?
somehow it is like an indirect way to perceive the reality.
Yes.
So it is kind of like the
You are saying easy, yeah. Easy.
step to gradually uplift them from that part,
Yes.
and then gradually to the divine.
Yes, Prabhu.
At least he will be knowing that it all coming from the Lord, and he will become grateful to the Lord.
Yes.
And that
will purify heart.
Invoke little service attitude and devotion.
But he is not devotee, na, actually. He doesn't have conception of developing service. But at least what he will be doing, you want to say, Prabhu?
It's same thing only, like because it is in relation with the Lord, he's thinking everything in relation, that relation with the, because it is kind of, because he's in the relation with the Lord, then it's why that will kind of.
Not over enjoyment.
You are all devotees, that's why you are giving devotional answers. But with the yogi, actually, why it is prescribed for him to meditate on the Virat Rupa? So, yeah, Prabhuji said Gopi Bhava Prabhu, that is the answer. So, here, let us see here. धारणायाम असमर्थानाम अशुद्ध चित्तानाम योगिना रागद्वेषादि मालिन्य निवृत्त्यर्थम वैराज धारण mahastule. So why meditating on the Virat is prescribed for the people whose heart is contaminated. So instead of meditating on the Paramatma form, they should meditate on the Virat. The reason is for the purification of the heart. How it is possible purification of heart is said in the next sloka, actually, 24th. And I will explain that 24th sloka. Let me read that. विशेषस्त्वस्य देहोऽयं स्तविष्टश्च स्तवीयसाम् यत्रेदं विद्यते विश्वम् भूतं भव्यं भवच्च सत्
This gigantic manifestation of the foreigner world as a whole personal body, whereas the universal result and past, present and future of material time experience.
That whole gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal world as a whole is the personal body of the Absolute. This whole world is meditated as the personal body of the Lord. That is nothing but Virat Rupa. So by doing like this, how the heart is purified. So what is the connection between the meditating on the Virat and purification of the heart? That is being explained here. Yatra idam drishyate ityanena drishya srivyadi vastu matranam. That means whatever the objects we hear and we see and everything, we should see it as body of the Lord. Bhagavat vibhutitvat bhagavad rupatvene dheyatve. So these are all the different vibhutis, all the different objects for the sense gratification are the vibhutis of the Lord, because they are all the energies of the Lord. Manifestation from the, they are manifested from the energy of the Lord. So then that's why they all should be seen as the Bhagavan. Then by doing like that, what will happen? If there is some beautiful thing is that 10 kgs of gold is there, and he should be seeing that also as what? As part of the Lord's body. It's a part, Lord of. Then because of this, what will happen? He will not be getting any kind of asuya and spardha. No competition. Generally, two people will fight for what? If there is one beautiful thing, and what will happen? If both are liking that, then there will be spardha. Then there is a fighting. And to get that, he will be fighting. Now, if we started developing the vision of that, what kind of vision he is developing? Everything, whatever the objects are there in this universe, which we hear and which we see, everything is nothing but the Lord's body only. And because of this kind of vision or this kind of consciousness, what will happen? So he will lose the competing with others for gaining those objects. Spardha and asuya, that means enviousness, everything will go away. And also you will see, anyway, it's a part of the law. What is the point of getting? What is the point of getting? Everything is inside of that only. So even my body is also inside of that only. Everything is there only. So, like in the case of yesterday, I was saying, the Nayayikas, they are seeing everything as a atom actually, and in that way they are getting the detachment. And in the case of Sankhya yogis, how they are seeing, they are seeing everything as is a play of the three modes, and Prakriti only is doing everything. So like that, they are also getting the detachment from the material world. Here, these yogis, these Astanga yogis who are not purified, who has impure heart, they are seeing how everything as the body of the Lord. Like everything is part of the Virat Rupa. So by developing such a vision, so it will automatically they will lose the interest to gain that, and also they will lose the competition. But if you think, instead of having that vision, this belongs to certain person, this object is belong to certain person, then what will happen? You want to get that, then you'll be competing with that person, and you'll be getting enviousness with that person, and this will be polluting the heart, and then you'll be finished. So that's why here, what is recommended for them? Sukadeva Goswami is saying, so for them, they should dharana state. In the dharana state, they should meditate on the Virat Rupa. Chitta Shuddhi cha Chidghanatmaka Sri Nara. Then once Chitta Shuddhi is done, then he should come back once again in that Virat Rupa, Inside there is a Hiranyagarbha. In that Hiranyagarbha's inside heart there is a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and in that Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu will be meditating. So like that, he will once again he also come back to the meditating on the pure form of the Lord. Once the Siddhi happened, then he should do. This is a solution given by the Sukadeva Goswami if the heart is impure. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, so that's why don't come to the dhyana stage. Till that time, you should keep on doing the Nishkama Karma. You do that. Like that, he is saying there. Because this yoga process having, maybe we are seeing here 2, 3, but if you see in the 11th canto in Uddhava Gita, you can see even more number of options. About the Jnana Yoga, what are the different options? For the Astanga Yoga, what are the different options? They're also explained. And if you go to other specific books like Patanjali, so Yoga Sutras, and there, you'll be seeing even further more. So, like that, many methods are there. Now, how to do meditation on the Virat Rupa is being explained in the following slokas, and very simple. And within half an hour, we'll finish. Okay. So that our chapter, at least one will be over. So now he has to meditate everything as the Virat. That means, like now we have these 14 planets. So where he should assume these planets in that Virat as the feet of the Virat, and as the this, like the rivers are there. How he should see these all rivers. The rivers are the Surya Chandra, they are the eyes of the Virat. So like that he has to meditate on these things. Virat Rupa is also real. It's not imagination. Virat appeared from the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And now, but for meditation sake, he has to assume like that. All these objects as the different limbs of the Virat. Yeah, yogi imagines. Yogi imagines. He imagines and then he meditates. But it is there originally. Otherwise, how you can imagine? Imaginary object can be imagined. No. It's real but temporary. Virat Rupa is real, but it is temporary. He is standing up. 10th chapter in the second canto you will see. So, but here yogi imagines that everything as different parts of that.
We say Krishna is very sharp. So we see from clouds and we imagine like this.
Yeah. Yes. So Virat is there, and but if Virat Purusha is not there, that like yatha pindandam tatha Brahman. So the way our body is built, the same way Virat body is also. Since Virat body is there, that's why we have this body. Our body is imaginary? No, it's real, but temporary. Similarly, Virat body is also. But now, where he should see these rivers are now he is seeing in this material world now. In what way he should see? He should see this as the veins of the Virat. And now Surya Chandra is saying he should see these are the eyes of the Virat, like that. You should imagine that and meditate on that. So he is explaining, Sukadeva Goswami explaining from 26 onwards, where to imagine the different, in day-to-day life we are seeing so many things. As what limbs of the Virat we should assume. That is being said here. पातालमेतस्य हि पादमूलम् पठन्ति पार्ष्णिप्रपदे रसातलम् महातलं विश्वसृजोत गुल्फो तलातलं वै पुरुषस्य जङ्गे. Persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottoms of the feet of the universal Lord, and the heels and the toes are the Rasatala planets. The ankles are the Mahatala planets, and his shanks constitute the Talatala planets. Virat Purusha is there, and where you should assume the lowest one, Patala, and after that Rasatala, and different. So is being said here, and commentary also is not so much there. Just explanation of these slokas only. Like when Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, the chunk 23 elements ball is connected with the novel to that. When in Anda there is a Brahmanda is there, na? 1 second, I'll explain on the board. When Karnanosaya Vishnu glances on Prakriti, so then what will happen? Prakriti produces 23 elements. What are those? So Mahat Ahankara, Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Mahabhutas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, and Manas. Total 23 elements. And then once again, Lord sends the Bibrus Shakti, so that all these will be mixed. Those will be mixed, and after that they will become small balls. Those are all Brahmandas. Like how many millions of balls? And then you take one ball, it is a big ball. Okay. So this one is enlarged here. Then this Karnanosaya Vishnu enters into this. In the form of Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. Karnanosaya Vishnu also is having the millions of heads, millions of the thousands of the hands and thousands of the legs. Not the one head actually. The same way Garbhodakasaya Vishnu also is having the hundreds and thousands. In the Virat Rupa, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord showed this form. This form. Mahavishnu, yeah, this form he showed. And in his Romakupa, one Brahmanda. These Brahmandas are lying on this Romakupa. In that Brahmanda, Arjuna sees Brahmaji also. Virat Purusha and Brahmaji. In one Brahmanda, he sees everything. And then he is very much, this is Divyam. This form is also very transcendental. And that's why to see this, he gave the Divyachakshu. Why he gave Divyachakshu? Already he is seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, and why he needs the another Divyachakshu? To degrade. Yeah. That means to see the Aishwarya Bhava. So Aishwarya Bhava he cannot tolerate actually. So with the existing eyes, because his eyes are habituated to enjoy the sweetest thing. Now your tongue is habituated to the sweetest thing, and if you give some Karela, some thing, then you will be not able to interest. Even if that's a sweet also. Not Karela, like example, you are habituated to eat every day. So morning balvo, latest thing. And now you are given with boiled potato. Some sweet potato boiled and is given. Then how you will be feeling? What is this? It's not at all tasty. Another you will given with some jaggery. How will you feel? So you don't like it. Similarly, now the Arjuna's eyes were very much habituated to relish the two-handed form, which is most pleasing and most blissful form. And such a eyes cannot tolerate the Aishwarya form. And which is also not simply Aishwarya, it's a Kalarupa, it's a ferocious. So that's why to make that adjustment, Lord gave the eyes, but he didn't give the
Mind is not
heart is not changed, only eyes he gives. That's why he got fear. With that new eyes, he is able to see. But mind is not new mind, na? That's old mind only. Because of old mind, he got fear and started crying. So this Virat Purusha, this Karnanasa enters into this every Brahmanda in the form of Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. So, and he feels this, and there is some chunk is there here. It's not, it's kavacha is there, outer shell is there. Inside, this 23 elements matter is there. That means these are all 23 only, but it's a shell is there and inside, like the egg. Shell is there and inside something will be there. No? Like that inside thing is there. And when he enters, he feels this empty. That means some is not fully with this material. This material is not fully there, and he feels half of this with the his sweat, and he lies. He likes to lie actually. Lying, sleeping is good. So then this is connected to his novel, and then gradually it will be developing in the form of what? So Virat. This will be developing as Virat, and that will come on the stem, and on the top lotus will be coming. So in that Virat's lotus feet, so the Patala and different planets are arranged actually. This
How did Brahma enter the power of this?
so he appeared. Virat Purusha, Hiranyagarbha, and Brahma all appeared. All are the manifestation.
Then Prabhupada gives an example how it is possible.
Hmm.
If you see Nari Pani,
Yeah.
water is down,
Yes.
but that same water is down.
Yeah.
So it's not so difficult. Even in mental world, something can be done like this.
Yes. Yes.
In the realm of spiritual, why can't do much again?
So now this is this 23 element will be as a composition of all the Mahat, Ahankara, Panchatanmatras, Panchagnanendriyas, Panchakarmendriyas. That only will be developing in the form of universal form. So that is having all the ingredients. Brahmaji will take the ingredients from that and he will give the bodies to each and every soul. So that is the Brahmaji's creation, secondary creation.
Please just like 23 elements of so 5 sense organs, 5 karmendriya glands. So they are hanging there.
Bro, I know it's a different engineering work. We don't know. Like you see, cellular communication, CDMA technology. For layman, it's very difficult. But who are the scientists, they can. But Brahmaji can understand because his body is full of made up of the intelligence. And he is a very powerful person. He can understand. But our intelligence is very minute. That's why we cannot understand that. How to do the creation, how to take these different hanging different elements and giving to that jivatma based upon their karma. That he is expert in that. I am not engineering. Yeah. Yeah. It's a big science actually. It's beyond our scientific uh, achievements. So then this Virat Rupa has to be meditated by this, and while meditating, he is seeing the Patala Loka and the actually originally there only there. So like that, he's imagining and he's meditating on that form. And where he is seeing the various objects, now we are seeing Surya, Chandra, and the different rivers, mountains. Where he is assuming in this Virat Rupa, that is being explained in the coming slokas. Let us go. I give the overall idea and I am going. Dve januni sutalam vishwamurte Guru dvayam vitalam chatalam cha mahitalam tajjaghanam mahipate Nabastalam na bisaro grunanti. The knees of the universal form are the planetary system of the name Sutala. That means in the knees, okay, Sutala is assumed, and the two thighs are the Vitala, that means, and the Atala, planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and outer space is the depression of his navel. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Pata. Like in the different so positions of the Virat Purusha, he should assume. Next. Urastalam Jyotiranikamsya Griva Maharvadanam Vaijanosya Tapovaratim viduradi pumsaha satyam tu shirshni sahasra shirshnaha. The chest of the original personality of the gigantic form is the luminary planetary systems. His neck is the Mahar planets. His mouth is the Janas planet. And his forehead is the Tapas planetary system. The topmost planetary system, known as Satyaloka, is the head of he who has 1,000 heads. Same, because like the Garbhodaksa Vishnu is having 1,000 heads. So Virat Purusha is coming from him. So that's why he is also having the 1,000 heads. And Karnanasa Vishnu is also having the thousands of heads. But Kshiradaksa Vishnu is not head. He is having only one head and 4 hands.
Paramatma.
Yeah, Paramatma. Yeah. So that means Swargaloka. On the Swargaloka, next one is Maharloka, then Janaloka, Tapoloka, and Satyaloka. They are being assumed on the different parts of this Virat Purusha. Next. Indradayo Bahava Ahurasra Karnau Disha Sotrama Mushya Shabdaha Na Satyadasrau Paramasya Nase Granosya Gandho Mukhamagni. His arms are the demigods headed by Indra. The 10 directions sides are his ears, and physical sound is his sense of hearing. His nostrils are the 2 Aswini Kumaras, and material fragrance is his sense of smell. His mouth is the blazing fire. So all the material objects, whatever we experience through our senses, are being assumed as the different parts of Virat Purusha.
So what Virat Purusha is relevant for devotee?
Once?
Or is Virat Purusha is relevant for devotee?
This form is not object for our meditation. No, we should not meditate. And in the case of devotees, no role for this. So, like in the what kind of devotees in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita you will be seeing ahangrahopasakas. So next one is pratikopasakas and viswarupopasakas. You remember this in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
Summarizes future about
Yeah.
three categories.
Yeah, 3 categories. Apart from the pure devotees, that means he said in the 9th chapter pure devotion. Then after that, he also says there are apart from these, there are another few devotees are there. They are the ahangrahopaskas. They themselves think as the Lord. Like, what is that? Pundari. What is that? Is Poundrak. Poundrak and so on. So the ahangrahopaskas. They consider themselves as Lord and they will be wearing all the Sankha Chakra Gada Padma. I am the Lord, I am the Lord, like that. They worship the Lord like that themselves. And the Pratikopasakas, who are those? Who actually they are seeing the Surya or otherwise something the demigods as in them also they are seeing the Lord. Pratikopasakas. Huh? So, like example, they worship the Surya, but with what conception they worship? Yeah, it is the Vibhuti of the Lord. They worship it as the Vibhuti of the Lord. So Narayana is nothing but that Surya is nothing but Narayana only. But they worship Surya. But what is the conception behind that? What is the consciousness behind that in that worship? So they see this Surya is nothing but Narayana only. But what about the demigod worshippers? The demigods see Surya himself as Supreme Lord. And Pratikopasakas, they see Surya is nothing but vibhuti of the Narayana. So that is the difference. Is it clear? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ekatvena, pratatvena,
Ekatvena, pratatvena, bahutvena. Yeah. Huh, Prabhu? Ekatvena ahangrahopasana. Pratatvena is the pratikopasana. And the bahutvena is Viswarupopasana. So there Viswarupopasana comes actually in the Bhagavad Gita. So there, those are also, that means seeing the different energies in this material world as the vibhutis of the Lord, are they as the angas of the Lord. It is also kind of devotion, but it is not recommended actually. So one has to, in the case of devotees, they should meditate on the beautiful form of the Lord, transcendental form of the Lord, not on this.
But like devotees see them when they see these things, they see in the relation to the Lord.
Yeah.
How do we connect this?
Devotees.
Because it is the energy of Krishna also God based. Like devotees see everything in connection with the Lord. So like you are saying like
No. Here, in the case of Pratikopasakas and Viswarupasakas, different energies they are seeing as the vibhutis of the Lord. Okay. So by that they are going to get the liberation. In the case of the demigods, they see the each energy as a supreme. And that is only their own, their absolute truth. And because of that, they are not going to get any liberation. By that upasana, they will be going to their planets and they enjoy, they will come back. And in the case of pure devotees, they are not interested in meditating on these forms, Viswarupopasana or this. But if any emergency comes, then they do. Like in the case of the Pandu Maharaj, so Yudhishthira Maharaj, while performing the yajna, he has to give the oblations to the different demigods. At that time, what is the consciousness for him? So, but it is mandatory he has to do, and that is also it's against the pure devotion. So, worshipping the demigods, that's why he is seeing each demigod as the limb of the Lord. So, in the emergency, they will be doing like that. So that the pure devotion will not be hampered. But it is not recommended. What is recommended? Recommendation is in the case of pure devotees, they should worship and they should meditate on the pure form of the Lord. Anyway, so these are the different limbs of the Virat Rupa. One has to assume. That means dharana. Whoever is doing dharana, he has to. Daurakshini chakshurabhut patangaha Pakshmani Vishnorahini Ubhecha Tadbrur Vijrumbah Parameshti Dishnya Maposyatalu Rasaiva Jikwa. Translation: the sphere of outer space constitute his eye pits, and the eyeballs is the sun as the power of seeing. His eyelids are both the day and night, and in the moments of his eyebrows, the Brahma and similar supreme personalities reside. His palate is the director of water, Varuna, and the juices are essence of everything is his tongue. Now, same thing you will be seeing how this Virat Rupa is manifested is being explained in the second canto, 10th chapter. Now here, whatever we are seeing the assumption of the different things and the different limbs. So how the Virat Rupa manifested form that is being explained in the 10th chapter, there you can also get. And once again, it will be coming on the third canto, 6th chapter. And secondary creation, once again, it will come on the 20th chapter of the third canto. But that is a secondary creation. But the Virat Rupa once again come. 2 times it will come. So one is here in the 10th chapter of the second canto, and also 6th chapter in the third canto. And also 6th chapter of the second canto. I forgot. It's universal form. So 5th and 6th chapter also there you will be getting. This Virat all the time will be coming. छन्दांस्यनन्यस्य शिरे गृह्णन्ति द्रंष्ट्रं यमः स्नेहकला द्विजानि आसो जनोन्मादकरी च माया दुरन्तसर्गो यदपाङ्गमोक्षः They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord.